Daft Punk, the enigmatic electronic music duo, emerged from the vibrant and eclectic music scene of 1990s Paris, a city known for its rich cultural tapestry and innovative spirit. Thomas Bangalter and Guy-Manuel de Homem-Christo, two school friends with a shared passion for music and a vision for the future, formed the group in 1993. Their bond was forged over countless hours spent discussing and playing music. Their early influences ranged from classic rock legends like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles to burgeoning electronic genres like house and techno, which were just beginning to make waves in the music world. This eclectic mix of influences would become a defining characteristic of their sound, blending the raw energy of rock with the futuristic beats of electronic music. Daft Punk's initial foray into music came with their band Darlin, a short-lived venture that leaned towards indie rock. Though the band didn't last long, it was a crucial stepping stone in their musical journey. After Darlin disbanded, Bangalter and de Homem-Christo began to experiment with samplers and drum machines, immersing themselves in the burgeoning world of electronic music. This period of experimentation allowed them to hone their skills and develop their unique sound. This period of exploration proved pivotal, leading them to craft a unique blend of house music infused with elements of funk, disco, and rock. Their innovative approach set them apart from their contemporaries. Their early tracks, often distributed on limited-run vinyl, quickly gained attention in underground clubs. These tracks were characterized by their infectious rhythms and innovative use of technology. Daft Punk's sound, a potent cocktail of infectious grooves, distorted vocals, and catchy melodies, resonated deeply with clubgoers. Their music created an electrifying atmosphere that was impossible to resist. This underground buzz soon attracted the attention of record labels, setting the stage for their meteoric rise to fame. Their innovative sound and enigmatic personas captivated audiences worldwide, paving the way for their legendary status in the music industry.
The way we got into music is pretty much the very common way, like many teenagers when they want to start a band, and very common yet with a feeling of contestation of the previous generation and wanting to do something different, but it was really something at the time. We were 17 and we just wanted to have a rock band like anybody, and so that's how Darlin came about, and the band itself didn't last long. So the single was released, and by the time it was released, it got bad reviews, and at the same time, I think we were already discovering electronic music and house music, and finding a different energy that we would decide to embrace a few months later.
It seemed like you had a desire to try to do something completely different from what was going on in the scene at the time. Was this like a conscious thing to, like you said, try to do something that this just wasn't on the landscape at all at that time, or was it just pure experimentation and it's just what you came up with?
And at that time it was still very experimental and very confidential. So we turning 17 or 18, we discovered the ability to go into clubs and went into some raves and discovered a very energetic movement compared to the very stiff rock audiences that at the time, where we loved a lot of bands and were going to a lot of shows, but it seems that everybody was so afraid to move in the audience that we felt there was really a great energy in the clubs and in this music where people were dancing and appreciating the music, which they sometimes didn't know which song was playing.
In 1997, Daft Punk released their debut album, Homework, a groundbreaking record that would solidify their place in electronic music history. This album was not just another release. It was a revolution in sound and style, setting the stage for what would become a legendary career. Recorded in their home studio, The album captured the raw energy and innovation of the French house scene. The duo, Thomas Bangalter and Guy-Manuel de Homem-Christo, utilized a mix of vintage equipment and cutting-edge technology to craft a unique sound that was both nostalgic and futuristic. It also showcased Daft Punk's ability to seamlessly blend genres, creating a sound that was both familiar and entirely fresh. They drew from a wide array of influences, including funk, disco, rock, and even hip-hop, to create a sonic tapestry that was rich and diverse. Tracks like Around the World with its hypnotic repetition and infectious beat and Defunk with its gritty, infectious groove became instant club anthems. These tracks were not just popular in clubs, they became cultural touchstones, influencing countless artists and producers. Homework wasn't just about dance floor fillers, it had a depth and complexity that transcended genres. The album's intricate production and innovative use of samples set a new standard for electronic music. The album's success was unprecedented for a French electronic act, propelling Daft Punk onto the global stage. They quickly became icons, known for their enigmatic personas and groundbreaking music. Homework became a cornerstone of the French house movement, inspiring a new generation of producers and DJs. Its influence can still be felt today, as new artists continue to draw inspiration from its innovative sound. The album's influence wasn't limited to electronic music. Its fusion of styles resonated with artists across genres, from rock to hip-hop. This cross-genre appeal helped to break down barriers and bring electronic music to a wider audience. With Homework, Daft Punk had not only arrived, they had redefined the possibilities of electronic music. Their innovative approach and fearless experimentation set the stage for future successes and cemented their legacy as pioneers of the genre.
Show me some.
We really wanted to make music on our own, and this was a real possible way of doing music at home, completely free and with nobody's help.
Thomas and Guy-Man, welcome. This is a bit unusual. You have to tell me, why do you wear these black bags on your heads?
We're wearing these black bags because as Daft Punk, we're not showing our faces in pictures or television.
But why did you guys choose to go this way? To not show your faces in public?
I think it was just an idea to come up with a different approach creatively and to create a universe, a visual universe, and giving something else. So we started to use images of robots, and we thought that it was interesting to separate the physical image and with the creation, and that's really why we wanted to try to do things differently like that, and also keep being anonymous was something that we found was interesting.
As their music gained international acclaim, Daft Punk made a conscious decision to obscure their physical identities. This was not just a fleeting idea, but a well-thought-out strategy to create a unique brand. They adopted robot personas, appearing in public and in promotional materials wearing elaborate helmets and metallic suits. These costumes were not just for show, they were meticulously designed to reflect their futuristic sound and vision. This decision, far from being a gimmick, became an integral part of their mystique and artistic statement. It allowed them to create a distinct identity that set them apart from other artists in the electronic music scene. The robot personas allowed Daft Punk to control their image and maintain a sense of anonymity. This anonymity gave them the freedom to experiment with their music without the pressure of public scrutiny. It shifted the focus from their physical appearances to their music, their art, and their message. Fans were drawn to the mystery and the music, rather than the personalities behind it. The masks became a symbol of their belief that the music should speak for itself, free from the distractions of celebrity culture. This philosophy resonated with many fans who appreciated the emphasis on artistry over fame. This calculated decision to embrace anonymity only amplified their allure. It created an air of mystery that kept fans intrigued and always wanting more. It sparked endless speculation and fan theories, further cementing their status as electronic music's most intriguing act. Fans and media alike were constantly guessing about their true identities and the stories behind their music. By embracing the robotic aesthetic, Daft Punk transcended the traditional boundaries of music stardom, becoming symbols of creativity and innovation. Their unique approach not only revolutionized electronic music but also left an indelible mark on popular culture.
Tomas and I both have a film that we consider one of our favorites, which is The Day the Earth Stood Still, and that sort of became a starting point for his character. But the challenge was to create something that had a linear readout, that he could type responses to people onto his arm. Guy-Manuel was more of a vertical screen to work in, where we could take advantage of the length of it and have stuff run through it. But these are all ideas that came from Tomas and Guy-Manuel in the very beginning. They actually brought with them Cedric, Alex, and Martine, and I think it was either Alex or Martine that did some illustrations that mapped out the general proportions for both heads right off the bat. The idea with Guy-Manuel's helmet in the beginning was it was going to be gold, like the NASA space helmets. But you can realize that you can't not see the camera. We needed some sort of a scrimmed surface inside that so that they could be invisible even if somebody was shooting a flash photo of them. In the beginning, the hand design was more of a glove that had interesting patterns and textures in it, and then the fingers on these being solid like this didn't allow a sense of touch as far as like dials and things went. So this turns into a spandex glove. When we got into Electromo, what was interesting is we were trying to eliminate the human actor from the performance. Guy-Manuel's character takes his helmet off and you realize it's a robot underneath, it's not a person. And we did something very flat-faced that a person couldn't really fit inside. And then Tomas and Guy-Manuel had this great idea where their entire wardrobe would be highlighted with the live wire used as the piping, so that on a dark stage they would read as a silhouette that was lit up. What it meant, though, was that they had to have an all-black version of their robot selves.
Legendary electronic dance music duo Daft Punk is breaking up after 28 years. E! News confirms the French musicians have gone their separate ways. In true Daft Punk fashion, they share a YouTube video titled Epilogue, where their robot personas meet in the desert. One of the robots explodes, which seemingly symbolizes the end of the partnership for good. Daft Punk first collaborated in 1993 and released their album Homework 4 years later. This introduced them into the music scene with hits like Around the World and Da Funk. 4 years later, their album Discovery had hit singles like One More Time and Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger that garnered mainstream success. Kanye West later sampled the latter track in his hit Stronger. Their final album, Random Access Memories, was released in 2013, which transcended the electronic music genre and topped charts everywhere. The duo found more success by collaborating with The Weeknd for singles on his album Starboard. Songs like Get Lucky and Lose Yourself to Dance with Pharrell Williams made Daft Punk as one of the most innovative duos to work with. Throughout their career, Daft Punk had been nominated for 12 Grammys and took home prizes for categories such as Record of the Year, Best Dance Recording, Best Electronic Dance Album, and Best Pop Duo Group Performance.
Daft Punk's Thomas Bangalter explains the reason for their split. Oh.
This was an unusual one when I read it.
I didn't know that I didn't think they would ever explain it. The last thing I would want to be in the world we live in 2023 is a robot. That's a quote. Whoa. Thomas Bangalter has opened up about his career after Daft Punk and explained the reasons behind the duo split. The musician who founded the French electronic duo with Guy-Manuel de Homem-Christo was speaking in a new interview when he explained that all he wanted to distance himself from the technology-infused sound. Daft Punk was a project that blurred the line between reality and fiction. With these robot characters, he told BBC, it was a very important point for me and Guy-Manuel to not spoil the narrative while it was happening. He continued, I love technology as a tool, but I'm somehow terrified of the nature of the relationship between the machines and ourselves. Now the story has ended. It felt interesting to reveal part of the creative process that is very much human-based and not algorithmic of any sort.
Daft Punk awkwardly once, yes, but not met. More like kind of got yelled at and stared at, funny, and then I walked away. Just all sorts of awkward. I've never met Scooter Braun. For all I know, he's a swell human being. Yeah, the title thing. I walked in on a shared dressing room that was like mine and Daft Punk's, and I walked into two like French guys with no shirts on, with the kind of helmets off to the side. Like I wasn't supposed to be in there, but I was at the same time because they were like, "Sorry, you guys are gonna have to use the thing." And then I walked in, and then I just kind of waved, and then they were just like staring at me funny, like I wasn't supposed to be in there. Maybe I wasn't, I don't know, but I just walked over to the fridge and grabbed a beer and left. I didn't say, well, like, what do I say to that? Hi, guys. You might have heard of me. I'm Dead Mouse. I hear you don't listen to me for pleasure. Right? Like, they were mad I wasn't drinking anymore.